Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel for today's video. I wanted to talk to you about the narcissist and their lies, their manipulations. So let's jump in. When you are dealing with a narcissist, it's like no other relationship that you've ever had. You've never met a person that claims to be a human being like this in your entire life. Now, you don't, of course, know it right away, but you will know it in the end. And it's interesting because they come in and we always talk about the love bomb. What's interesting about it, when they do enter your life, you do have some kind of inklings of red flags and your intuition is getting spiked. Of course, you are running it over because of the words that sound so good, and they're actually giving you some good actions, like pampering you and lifting you up. Of course, it's all a lie. It's just to get in and court it up to you. They can get you to trust and love them so they can get you locked in, and then treat you like crap, steal your fuel, your identity, and leave. Then cycle back and forth with you over and over, year after year, under this trauma bond. But when they come into your life, it's weird because it feels really good. The best you've ever felt, in a sense. Of course, it's fake, but nevertheless, you still have these emotional feelings and you feel really connected. People argue about that connection. Was the connection a real, energetic, spiritual connection, or was it just because they mirrored you back to yourself so much that you felt so connected? I guess my point to all this is later on, you are in hell's abyss, really, literally. It's kind of like you wouldn't do anything to hurt yourself, but if you just didn't wake up one day, you would be okay with it. I mean, that's how depressed you'll be. It can take a long, long time to come out of it. Some shorter than others because some didn't stay in it long enough to get to the level of injury that others did. There is a spectrum for everything. When it comes to the narcissist spectrum, it goes all the way up to that antisocial section with this psychopath, sociopath. And at the higher end, you start seeing demonic things in the physical realm toward the end. And you will get inklings of that throughout the relationship. The biggest red flag for me was, of course, the feeling of this butterfly feeling in the very beginning, or kind of this weird kind of feeling. It's nostalgic, but you have questions. And then when you inquire about the individual, you never get an answer. It's always what we call in this platform word salad. Even when you have a topic of discussion later on, I don't want to call it an argument, but discrepancies or disagreement. And you come to the narcissist, you're totally cool, you're not uptight or anything, but you want to get an answer for something. And it will turn into the next subject, the next subject, the next subject. By the time you turn around, you almost forgot what the question was that you wanted the answer to. It's always like that. They never answer your question. But a lot of times they'll throw the same question back at you, but almost like in an accusative form. A lot of times when you want answers from the narcissist, you could have gotten to a point where you could accept anything. You just want the truth. Whatever the truth is, just tell me, And that's where they leave you a lot of times. And I think that's the hardest part when trying to find closure when it comes to the narcissist. You really don't want to find out what's behind the next door or in that closet of skeletons, because I'll tell you, theirs is a closet that's never ending. It's almost so dark. It's depressing to find out more about them. It's not like a coat closet, like maybe most people have. It's not a walk-in closet, but it is like a mansion closet of skeletons. I think if you were to go through that mansion closet and go all the way back to where this started, you would find this little child hiding in the corner, scared, nervous. But you would have to go through a lot of chapters in that mansion closet to get to that corner. And by the time you got to that corner, you would be just as infected as they are. That's how sick it is. These people are the epitome of evil and depravity. They have absolutely no truth in them and absolutely no love in them. At least when you get to this higher end spectrum, you could find out, like I said, they could get life insurance policies out on you. They can fake power of attorney. They can buy houses under your name or usurp an inheritance that you may have had that came with a house. Then try to create all these problems to get you in trouble at work without you even knowing. Like they could be calling up the human resources department and be gang stalking you, pulling drive-bys at your house, like pop-ups, but not doing anything. You'll be seeing them drive by, or somebody that is a familiar face with them at all times of the day. And then you can hear stuff from people. They may have put cameras in your house or set you up and taken videos you didn't know and put them online, and even possibly made money with them. This Tree of Life business or something. Some cult, sex cult or something. They have all these videos. I don't know. There is some craziness with these individuals, almost like they're hooked up to a criminal organization. Like, you know, like the Family Business TV show. It's like that. And thank God you have the Almighty protecting you, because you have nothing to worry about because you're pure. So it's like if something was to happen to you, you're okay because you know the Lord. And you don't care. But I think they do a lot of fraud, narcissists. So you got to be careful. Credit card fraud, and you know that virus we had several years ago. I don't like to say the name because YouTube doesn't like it aired for some reason. But the 1 and the 9, you know, with the masks, you'll have like people related to them taking out. You remember when they were giving those government loans out and stuff for people with small business need help and all this? They'll be fraudulently doing all that kind of stuff in the background. And I think they think they're going to get away with it. It's like mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing that they can get away with it for so long. That's how you know that they have an extended group that they're working with. But they'll have fake storefronts running prostitution. I mean, it's terrible. These guys are evil. And then they'll try to put stuff on you, and you don't even know it. They'll make fake driver's license and try to fraudulently take activity out on you. This is like stuff that I hear. I don't know. I know that the Lord's got me covered, and I'll be hearing something soon. But this goes with the closure that I'm talking about. These guys never give you closure, and it's for many reasons. They always want you off from center, so you're always thinking about what if, what could have, what did happen. They try to keep you in your emotions and control them by all of this disarray and lies and manipulations to make you malleable, to turn you into what they want you to be. And this is the thing too, they can control you into almost getting yourself in trouble. If they can control you and they have set you up, they can set you up and control you to do what they wanted in that setup. That's kind of what they do when you're around people out and about, and they can cause the reactive abuse, right? You've been taking their crap forever, every night behind closed doors. They're stealing your energy. They never give you any end to a discrepancy or questions that you have. They never give you any answers. They're always lying to you. And you get into this like Stockholm syndrome if you don't watch it. So it's like when people say, well, why don't you just leave? It's really hard because it doesn't come upon you right away. It's slowly and insidious, and they enjoy the pain. They're sadistic. They enjoy the chase. They enjoy all the gossip, and then they create all this gossip about, like I said, anything they're doing. If they're cheating on you, they're going to tell all their flying monkeys and friends that you're a cheater. If they're like prostituting themselves for money, literally, they will maybe put cameras in your house and tape you or something, and then tell their friends that you were doing it. I don't know. I mean, I'm just bringing up fake scenarios because this is the kind of stuff that they do. And then you can get, especially if you're not covered, if you don't know the Lord, I mean, then he may not give you protection that you would because you put in the work to be a truthful individual. See, he protects people that walk in obedience to him. And that's the other thing a narcissist will do. When they really want to come back in, they'll get on this obedience kick where they'll be acting obedient to you. That's it's a weird term outside of God, but this is how they look at it. And they will be extra, you see. But it's a shame because be on all of these dark websites and stuff and doing everything. You know it's going on out there for some creepy people, but you don't expect it to be with who you had partnered up with at one time. Stuff blows your mind after a while. And the way that they generate money, especially when they're working with some sort of a group or a collective, and then mix witchcraft involved in it. And if their family comes from a little bit of money, they could be like running some sweatshop overseas or something, because everything they do is evil. There's nothing that you're going to find good. But what you will find is they're prominent people sometimes in a church. That's how evil it's the most evil thing in the world. They're destroyers. They destroy everything they touch, or they pervert it. And that's what the Lord hates. He hates the perverter of stuff, because you're not just a lie, but you're actually perverting something of goodness, of truth. You're taking the truth and twisting it, manipulating it, and perverting it. And a good thing may have happened, but they will pervert it into a story or a narrative. It wasn't like that at all, that it was something evil when it wasn't. And then people may look at you, side-eye you, and give you the evil eye and not want to talk to you and avoid you, because these individuals in the background have been wrecking your name, your clout, and everything that they loved about you. And the problem is when you were with them, they were able to jump off that clout, your name. And they sure told everybody they were with you, right? They tell everybody that they can, but they keep it secret because they're always cheating. I guess what I want to say is, you don't need closure from the narcissist. I know it's hard, but it's best to just not even think of them and just move on, because there's nothing there. And it's just going to be one more lie in that mansion of a closet of skeletons. And the deeper you go, you're going to find there's dark things there. They're not just narcissists because maybe they chose something at childhood. It's almost like they were evil from the very beginning, regardless. You can call it narcissism or anything else, it doesn't matter. Evil is the term. And they don't change. They don't change, y'all. They don't repent. And when they do, it's just a look. It's just to save their image. And what's funny is when a whole collective's going down, the narcissist they're all jumping ship. They're going to be the one that's going to turn everybody in. I'm not saying that's wrong. That's right. But when you have a bunch of narcissists in a group, they all turn each other in. There is no loyalty, right? Except to the mask. But there should never be loyalty in criminal organizations. But if you're going to go into a criminal organization, I know in a weird way that would be kind of be respectful, you know. It's not good either way, but you know what I'm getting at. The truth always comes out when they've falsified your signatures, when they've stolen money from you. It's always somewhere. Then they've gotten policies out on you and they think they can cut and paste them. It's there still. The lie is still in. You can't get away with anything, y'all. There's cameras everywhere. There's all kinds of different equipment that can catch an individual. The thing with the narcissist, they're like the cookie jar. It's like if you start giving them good fuel and you're giving it up freely, they're going to come back to you and they're going to take all your fuel. They're going to empty the cookie jar and run away as quick as they can, right? Because they're greedy. Well, when it comes to like criminal stuff, it's like when they get started, it seems like they continue to try to hammer whatever the narrative is so much. After a while, I couldn't imagine anybody even believing it. It's like you did too much. The stuff they will try to get connected to you, it's too much. Power of attorneys, fake power of attorneys through the family. Tree of life. I don't know, but man, I know folks is going to the slammer for a long, long time. They have a lot of addictions. And then they'll get so confused after a while, especially when you turn them down and you're done, y'all. Like you buried the thing. There's several different oddball things that will make them wild out and have a narcissist collapse. Then God will hit them with this negative reaping and it will wreck them on a daily basis. When it comes at them like that, instead of dealing with it, they'll get in more and more trouble because they'll be slipping now, because they'll be like getting high all the time or something. They'll be doing stuff that they really shouldn't be doing. Then they'll really get caught. It's sad though. It's sad, but I kind of got to look at it like they would in the biblical narrative. It's like, well, It's sad, but I don't care because that's your choice. So you made your bed, lay in it. You have to lie in it. And they're not remorseful. They're not repetitive. They don't care. And the first time they can mock you and step on you and squish you and destroy you, they will. And if they could put you underground, they would dance on your grave and they would soak up all of the empathy people would throw at them and sympathy, really, and walk away laughing. And this is what you get sometimes from really bad narcissists. They may make a second hustle or a living off of this kind of stuff. They will use sex for any type of manipulation. That's not what humanity does. They will sell themselves for money as a second hustle. That's not what humanity does. They will sleep with anything. That's not what humanity does. We value ourselves, our bodies, and who we are. But when you don't have love, you don't have love for anybody, but it first starts because you don't have love for yourself. So you defile yourself because you look at yourself as an object and treat yourself as an object. And that's where it's kind of sad, but the sadness only lasts for a few seconds with me because you got to stay hard, stay strong, man, because it's like, this is a war and you on the other side and you're trying to stick me. So I'm going to stick you back. And I believe that we have to soldier up and we have to be on guard. And at some times there's so much stuff that will come at you in the background about what they're doing and saying that you have to defend yourself, or else you'll be having to deal with a lot of stuff that maybe you could have avoided. At this point, they're getting desperate, y'all, because it's like people's getting evicted and repoed cars and all kinds of stuff, like the last day. You know, and up until the last day, they'll be sitting there like wearing Armani suits or something and telling everybody like they're living the high life. And then tomorrow they'll be getting evicted, like, and people be scratching their head. Like, I thought everything was okay over there. Because in humanity, we go downhill and you see it. With the narcissist, nope. They will act like nothing's going on until the day of the whoever shows up to evict them because they can't pay their bills because they're whatever, they're spending so much time doing all this stupid stuff trying to cover up things now. You can't live a lie and be successful. And I used to think that they didn't get a lot of their reaping, their negative reaping, but I see it now. It's cyclic as well. And it gets worse every time because the grace on their life, God don't give them no more. That's what they call unprotected. And a lot of times they will try to cast this witchcraft on you. And because it's been revoked by the Almighty, because you're a just individual and it's not fair, it's not warranted, it will come back to them and they don't have any protection. And he will strip them of their witchcraft even abilities. A lot of times the narcissist will dig their own hole to where they'll end up in like life in prison or something. A lot of times, you know, their family knows it, but they'll cast the blind eye. The narcissist family always acts as the elephant is not in the room. It's a don't ask, don't tell policy. If it's not being discussed in front of me and you don't slip out and say it in front of me, but it's happening, they're cool with it. Really, it's an image thing. But then what hits them or their family is when the actual day comes where they really get caught up and put down and indicted for a bunch of like 15 counts and, you know, 50 years of sentencing or something. Like, not just like their daughter or son or whatever, but like also like 8 of their friends or something. I mean, like, these people shouldn't be on the streets. They're destructive. And the way that they manipulate people and individuals in places of power, that they are able to blackmail, because they'll set people up and blackmail them, lawyers, judges, police officers. They'll sleep with them, record them, then they'll come at them with full-on power and control over them and hand them these videos and tell them they got many more and use it as blackmail. Some people get paid from it. These narcissists, they get actual salaries from blackmailing lawyers, judges, and accountants. People that can move paperwork, falsify paperwork, power of attorneys, and all kinds of things, fake marriages. They can add you as an employee to some cheesy business that's a fake storefront or something. I don't know. They do things like this. Then they will slander and bring up your name in some case or some case that they're involved in. And they'll actually try to turn you in on it. Because, of course, what does the narcissist always do when they do run the smear campaign? They always tell your friends, relatives, and people around you after you break up that you're doing to them what they're doing to you. So it's like if you're in some sort of law enforcement and you know it's a narcissist, whatever they tell you somebody else is doing, well, you know them or the person directly next to them, their cohort, is the one that's actually doing exactly what they're telling you that the predator supposedly is doing. They're the predator. It's almost like they have to tell the truth. God makes everybody tell the truth. And when it comes to the narcissist, they'll tell the truth by projecting it onto you. So when they go to turn somebody in, whatever they say an individual's doing, and if they have intuition, the enforcement agent, to know it doesn't seem right, investigate it on that same individual and you'll find it's them. They did it. Or their relative did it. It's crazy. And they think, this is the crazy thing, is they think everybody's dumb and nobody's ever going to find out, including the law, y'all, all the way up to the top. But you don't need closure. Get out as fast as you can. Don't go walk in that coat closet. Don't go walk in the walk-in closet. Don't go walk in the mansion closet of skeletal remains, because what you'll find is nothing, but it will lead to an understanding of a darker and darker path of life that these individuals chose. And this is why they are encapsulate the product that they have become. But what blocks them, what protects them, what gives them the allure, the charm, that would never be them, is them taking energy and fuel, stripping it from relationships with empathic individuals, highly empathic individuals that run on the 9 fruits of the Spirit. And they switch all that sin, all of that evil, that fraud and everything, they'll throw it on you. It's so horrible. That's why it's horrible when you're the one receiving that unawoke. And they'll walk out there with your energy. And they don't have a conscience. So if they're wearing your fuel with no conscience, then they just believe they're you. It's deep. Anyway, that's all for today. It's turned into almost about having closure. You're never going to get closure. And if you really, really want it, are you ever going to believe that's what happened? Because they're such a pathological liar and cheater and thief and destroyer. No. So let it go. Move on. Get over it. Find your passion and dive into it. The thing is, they just, they try to come at you. They try to get you anywhere that you have a good foundation. They try to knock it out from under you so that you have to go to them and need their help, need their support. So that because you refused them, now they try to knock your foundations out from under you so that now you have to be dependent on them. And then they try to take you over through power and control that way. That's where God steps in, because God don't like that. The narcissist is hell-bound, y'all. And up until they get there, they're going to be behind iron gates with one of them stainless steel toilets you pull out from under the cabinet, with no privacy and 3 hots and a cot, making license plates. Anyway, thank you for watching. Love y'all. Till next time. Soul Jeff. Peace. We out.